Hello friends, welcome to our channel. Today I will discuss one problems related to computer or common bus system in a digital computer. Okay, so every day or most of the time I solved one category of problems related to computer organization and architecture. Similarly, one problems I will explain regarding on common bus system of a digital computer Okay, this particular problem that is the design of this particular problems we have already discussed in last lecture. I also designed that particular problems with the help of 4 registers and 4 multiplexers. That means design a common bus with 4 registers and 4 multiplexers. We have already discussed, I have already explained very clearly with a different concept, that is 4 line common bus also. That is different concept I have already discussed regarding on common bus system. But the problem when we apply that common bus system with some certain application, then what kind of problems we can we can find, and how to solve that kind of problems. So one problems I took, like a digital computer has a common bus system for 16 registers of 32 bits each. That means we create a common bus system with 16 registers. Okay, 16 registers and also some multiplexers. We will find out what are the problems, but we construct the common bus with the help of 16 registers and multiplexers, and each registers having 32 bits each. That means 32 bits of data will provide by the 16 registers, or each register provide 32 bits. Okay, and a bus is constructed with multiplexers. That means whenever we design common bus system, then we will consider some registers, that is 16 registers, and some multiplexers. Okay, then some question arise here. That is some question I put a question, or a number of questions are here, like how many selection inputs are there in each multiplexer. Whenever we will consider multiplexers, that means how many selection inputs are required for each multiplexer. Okay, and another question also there, that is what size of multiplexers are needed. Whenever we will consider multiplexers, what is the size of a multiplexers. Okay, and another question also there, that is how many multiplexers are there in the bus. If we consider 16 registers and each register having 32 bits, then how many multiplexers are required to construct that common bus. Okay, these are the basic questions I made it, and I can also solve, or what is the solution of each question if a common bus contains or is constructed with 16 registers with some multiplexers. Okay, now I will solve the different these 3 questions from the above inputs. Inputs means some required inputs is given, like this, not inputs, some information is given, like a bus system having 16 registers and each register having 32 bits. Okay, so now I will solve first question, like a, okay, so how many selection inputs, one first question is how many selection inputs are there in each multiplexers. Okay, how to solve this one? First of all, we will take some example, small example, then it is easy to find out the answer of this question. Okay, let us consider a bus system contains, that is small, that is a small example we will take, then we can find out what is the answer of this. Let us consider that is a two registers. For example, let us consider two register having four that is four bits each, or each register having 4 bits. For example, we will take a very simple way. Suppose two register will take, for example. Okay, so two register having suppose register register a register here, register two register we will consider, suppose register A, here is register B. Okay, and let us consider that is a 4 that is bits. Register contains 4 bits, 0 1 2 3, 0 1 2 3. As per the previous model of the bus system, you see how many number of bits are involved, or how many number of bits of a particular register. Okay, particular register, then they will provide the number of bits of data to any other component. This is the basic concept. Here you see, here is 4 bits are there. Okay, that means that 4 bits data or information provided by each register, suppose register A or register B. Okay, then whenever these 4 bits data provided to the other components, that components means we can consider that is a multiplexer, because bus system contains multiplexers. Okay, multiplexers and register. Okay, according to the previous bus system, okay, the design of bus system we have already known that. Then each register output connect to the input to the multiplexer. Suppose here is a multiplexer. Okay, this is the multiplexer. Okay, mux. Suppose 0, here is a mux, here is a mux multiplexer. We can short form, we can write mux. Okay, in this way just write. We don't know actually how many multiplexers is required. Just example I just share. So here you see this output connect to the output of this register connect to the one multiplexers. Okay, this is the 0 value connect to 0 first inputs connect to this first multiplexer. Second, another multiplexers also, that means here is a 1, sorry 0. Similarly, here is another data connect to another multiplexer. Suppose here is 0. Okay, another data also connect to another multiplexer, 0. Here is another multiplexer connect to another multiplexer, that is 0. First information store in multiplexer, that is a first data is 0 0 0, or whatever the things, position is 0. Okay, but another register also there, then what happens, that register also provide the data to the multiplexer. You see here is 0. Okay, since it is already occupied 0, so here you see it is occupied 0, here another data is there, it will connect to here. Okay, here is 1, here is similarly another, here is 1. Okay, here is a connect to here, here is a connect to 1. Okay, to connect to 1, here is a connect to here also 1. Okay, so now you see this is 2 register but 4 multiplexers it also connected, doesn't matter what is the number of bits involved in a register, or how many bits contains in a register, all data connected to the multiplexers, there is no problem. Okay, this since 2 register, so 2 data consider as input from register to the multiplexer. That means multiplexer receive only 2 data from 2 register. You see 2 register, 2 data receive, but how many multiplexers is required? That is 4 multiplexer are required. That is mux 0, mux 1, mux 2, mux 3. Okay, 4 register is required. What you observe here? Whenever 2 register will consider having 4 data of each register, whenever they connect to the multiplexer, that means each data connect to the multiplexer. So how many multiplexer is required? 4 multiplexer required. That 4 multiplexers are depend on how many bits of each register. Okay, that multiplexers number of multiplexer we will consider, which are depend on how many number of that is inputs, or how many number of size of register. Okay, that is here is how many 4 size, 4 bits register having 4 bits. That means 4 number of multiplexers are required. Okay, if it 2 size is 2, so 2 multiplexer is required. Depend on that how many number of bits are involved in a register, or what is the size of a register. Based on that we have to take how many number of multiplexers. Very simple way. Okay, because here 4 bits of a register, 4 that is multiplexers are required. But those multiplexers receive only 2 data. Why? Because 2 register is there. So obviously 2 data it will receive. Each multiplexer receive only 2 data because 2 registers are there. Okay. Suppose the bus system contains this. You see very simple example. Here is a 2 register. Okay. 2 register having size 4 bits. Okay, 2 register having size 4 bits. So it produces how many multiplexers? So produces, here we can write produces or connect, not produces, connect 4 multiplexers with 2 inputs. Okay, 2 inputs. So very simple example. If a 2 register will consider having 4 bits, it connect to the 4 multiplexer having 2 that is inputs. Okay. Similarly, if register, okay, if a register, that is how many register as per this question, you see very simple. And some formula also I will put some basic concept. Okay, 2 register, you see 2 register size 4. Okay, that is how many number of multiplexers required? 4 multiplexers, okay, required having 2 inputs. Okay, having 2 inputs. This is the basic concept. Similarly, suppose we just multiply number of times. Here is a 4 register, for example, 4 register. Okay, 4 register having size is suppose 16. Okay, size 16. 4 register, sorry 8, size 8. Doubles, for example, double. Size is double. Then what happens? 4 register size is how many? 4. When 4 outputs it will consider. 4 outputs it will consider. Then what happens? If 4 outputs means each register contains 8 bits. If 8 bits, then you see if size 4 multiplication is required. If size 8, obviously 8 multiplexers is required. 8 multiplexers required having how many? Okay, having how many that is inputs? Having inputs, how many inputs? You see very simple. Size, register size is 8. Okay, 8 multiplexers is required. But size means inputs, how many inputs? You see 2 register means 2 inputs for the multiplexer. If 4 register, so inputs will be 4. Having inputs 4. Okay, so we just create some certain region by which you can understand what is the formula or basic concept regarding on this. Okay, you can also that is find the basic concept regarding on this. How? You see, very simple way. Another is, if we consider another is, if two data is there as per the previous concept, if two data is required, how many selection is required? Only one, because two data, yes, only one selection is required, that is yes defined either 0 or 1, yes will be 1, okay, that is yes will be 1. And if yes will be 1, then what happens? You see, how many inputs are there here? Inputs for this multiplier is 2 into 1. If these two inputs consider for multiplier, the size of a multiplier is 2 into 1. 2, how 2 is considered? Depend on the register, because two register may provide the data to the multiplier. So these two depend on two registers. Okay, each multiplier having size 2 into 1. Very simple way. 2 into 1. Okay, this is the basic concept. What I told, this is the basic concept. That means if 2 register is required, multiplier size is 2 into 1. And how many multipliers is required? That if register size is 4 multipliers is required. Okay, and multiplier having two inputs. In two inputs means the size of a multiplier is 2 into 1. Okay, in this way we have to develop as our that is problems. Okay, now I will see you basic concept. I will show you. If that is here, I will just mention, that is if two register, for example, two register, we will consider two register. Okay, two register having size, two register with size 4. Okay, with the size 4, then what happens? How many, that is what is the size of two register? So size of multiplexer is, size of multiplexer is how much? That is what is it? Two register. Two register means 2 into 1, because already mentioned register. Here you see two register size 4 multiplier required, but size in input, the size will be 2 into 1. Okay, and here what happens? 4 multiplexers are required. 4 multiplexers. Okay, 4 multiplexers, because size is 4 means 4 multiplexers is required. This is the basic concept. Okay, you have to solve how. If it just double 4 register, we will consider 4 register. Okay, if we consider 4 register with a size 8, just double 4 register with a size 8, then size of multiplexer will be how much? Okay, size of multiplexer will be, you see, depend on the register, because size depend on the register. Okay, what is the size of multiplexers? So obviously 4 into 1. Okay, 4 into 1. And what is the, how many number of multiplexers is required? 4 into 1, the multiplexer size. Okay, but how many number of multiplexers is required? That is 8 bits. Suppose 4 register having 8 bits, then 8 multiplexers are required. Okay, 8 multiplexers are required. Okay, similarly, again third point, or if we go through increasing order, that is 2, 4, 8 register. Okay, if 8 register having 16 size, then how many? Okay, sorry. So how many? That is what is the size? Size of the multiplexer, you see, If you 4 register, 4 into 1. Size of multiplexer 8 in 1. Okay, 81 is the size of multiplexer. Okay, size of multiplexers. And how many number of multiplexers is required? 16, because size of a register is 16. 16 multiplexers are required. Okay, now come to the our point. That is our question was, that is a register having, you see our question. Now I will solve this question. What is how many the multiplexer inputs, like this. Okay, register, how many register we took? You see, very simply it is mentioned 16 registers. 16 register, 32 bits. Okay, now see, that is here our answer, our question also answer having 16 register. Okay, 16 register having how many? 32 bit size. If 16 register having 32 bit size, okay, so multiplexer size will be 16 into 1, that is a size of multiplexer. Obviously, size of multiplexer. Okay, so now you see, if we go through, that is size of multiplexer, we can find out. Now, how many multiplexers are required? Depend on the number of or bits of each register, that is 32. So obviously 32 multiplexers are required. Okay, 32 multiplexers are required. Okay, in this way we can define how many number of multiplexers are required, what is the size of multiplexers, okay, and how many selections also we can find out. You see, if we go through 2 register, I will show you once again. If we go through 2 register, selection is how much selection? Only 1. S is equal to 1. You see, because S is equal to 1 means only 0 and 1. 2 automatically, because 0, 1 is 0, another is 1. If S is only 1 selection, okay, that is 1 is 0, another is 1. 0 or 1. Only 1 selection is there. If 2 inputs, if 4 inputs, so 2 selection is required. S0 and S1. Okay. Here you see, here if 4 inputs, you see that how many inputs are there or are required for this? How many? You see, here you see, as our question, what is the question? 16, size is 16 into 1. That means what are the, how many selection are required? If is size of multiplexer is 16 into 1, then selection, how many selectors is required? That is 2 to the power n is equal to 16. That means n is equal to 4. That means 4 selection can be done. 4 selection. Okay, 4 selection. That is selection will be, what are the selection we can write? That is here another way also we can write. Okay, that is S0, S1, S2, S3. 4 selection are required. 4 selections are required. Okay, this is the basic concept whenever we solve this kind of a problem. Now we see what is the answer of this. Very simply, I will show you what is the answer of this. How many selection inputs are there each multiplexers? How many selection? Very simple. What is the selection? That is a 4 selection line. How many? Answer will be, we can write, answer will be 4 selection. Okay, here we can write that the answer will be 4 selection line. Very simply, 4 selection lines to select. This 4 selection right is to select what? 16 register. Okay. These 4 selection lines select, 4 lines to select, okay, one of 16 register. One of 16 register. Okay, 16 register. Okay, the first question answer is over. How many selection inputs are there in each multiplexers? 4 selection lines to select one of the 16 registers. No problem. Next, what is the size of a multiplexers are needed? I told size of a multiplexer depend on the how many bits. Size of the multiplexer, how many registers. Okay, because we have already discussed that figure. Okay, here you see size depend on the number of register. Here you see very simple, 2 register size 4, 2 register means size of multiplication is 2 into 1. So here is how many register? 16 register. If 16 register is there, then what is the size of multiplications? Obviously we can write this answer, that is 16 into 1. Okay, 16 into 1 multiplexer size. Okay, the 16 into 1 size of multiplexers are required. Then how many multiplexers are there in the bus? Another answer. How many multiplexers? Multiplexers depend on how many multiplexers depend on what is the size of each register. What is the size? 32 bit size. So here we can write 32 multiplexers. Okay, 32 multiplexers are required for this construction. Okay, now I hope all of you understand this question and answer. Very simple. If you understand this part, how it will construct, how many registers are required, what is the size of register, based on that what are the or how many multiplexers are required, having how many inputs, how many multiplexers are required, like this. If this concept you understand, then you can understand that. And another part is how many register with what are the size, then what is the size of multiplexers, how many multiplexers are required, like this we can also define. Okay, if this particular answer if you analyze with some certain example, then we can find out what are the solutions of this given problems. So this problem is solved through this particular answer what I told you. Okay, so very carefully whenever you solve this problem with certain answer. I have already solved this answer. So I hope all of you understand these problems with answers. Okay, simple way, but some concept we have to consider, how to design that particular bus system with a digital or for a digital computer, and what are the answer of each questions. These 3 questions and answer will be I also find the solution of each questions. Okay, in this way. So thank you very much. I hope all of you understand this particular questions with answers. So I will take different questions with different answers, and you try to understand how to solve this kind of questions and answers. If certain some numbers or parameters will change, then answer will be also change. You try to answer in a different ways. Okay, this question answer, this question having this kind of answer, I made it. I hope all of you understand this one. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks to watch my videos, and please subscribe my channel, and comments me if you like, you also like it. Thanks to all.